Ever wonder why a deserted island in a classic novel is populated only by boys? Uh, it wasn't a simple oversight. The story begins with Judy Carver, a young girl whose father, William Golding, relentlessly sent a manuscript to publishers. It kept coming back, dog-eared and unloved, until one editor saw its potential and changed everything. That manuscript became Lord of the Flies, published in 1954. Um, for Judy, it was a story she could only read in parts, uh, a glimpse into a world that quickly became too intense. Uh, she remembers a reference to a beloved childhood series, Swallows and Amazons, a comforting detail amidst the growing darkness. Uh, Golding's initial title, Strangers from Within, hinted at the novel's core theme, the darkness inherent in human nature. He believed we all carry a terrible disease, a potential for savagery that surfaces in extreme circumstances. But the final title, Lord of the Flies, a nod to the devil and a buzzing, unsettling image, proved more fitting. The author was famously irked when mistaken for the writer of The Lord of the Rings. A photographer captured his frustration, a moment of understandable annoyance. Golding, however, possessed a playful side, often subverting expectations and delighting in a good joke. Hollywood came calling, but with a proposition, Golding rejected fun. Um, a producer wanted to add girls to the island. Change the author vehemently opposed. He believed it would fundamentally alter the story, introducing new dynamics and complexities that the original manuscript revealed a deliberate choice. Golding crossed out the word children and replaced it with boys. This wasn't about excluding girls, but about focusing on a specific exploration of masculinity. He drew on his experiences teaching boys, acknowledging his limited understanding of the female psyche. It would be talking about a lot of Golding didn't necessarily see Lord of the Flies as a statement about toxic masculinity, as we might term it today, where he simply wrote about what he knew, the world of boyhood, its rivalries, and its potential for both cruelty and courage. He was a son, a brother, and a father, but perhaps didn't fully recognize his role as a father to a daughter. Later generations of Goldings carefully avoided assigning the novel as a set text in their children's schools. The author himself was superstitious about the book's success, fearing that rejection or excessive praise might tempt fate. He even had a recurring nightmare about his editor rejecting the manuscript. While Golding considered other novels like The Spire and The Inheritors, his greater works, Lord of the Flies, remained his defining achievement. That he'd sheepishly admit that it wasn't bad when it was, and then when it asked about his favorite books, despite his initial reluctance, Golding eventually embraced Peter Brook's 1963 film adaptation, appreciating its stark black and white photography and haunting choral score. He refused to watch a later adaptation, however, suspecting it missed the mark. The story of Lord of the Flies continues to resonate today, sparking discussions about human nature and societal structures And it's a haunting tale, a reminder that even in paradise, darkness can lurk. And it's funny, isn't it? Like a story about boys trying to build a society on an island, and the biggest debate is why there aren't any girls. So maybe they were all busy forming their own, much more sensible island community. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time, we'll see you next time.